It feels as though your person has created a massive wall between the two of you, a barrier that has been silently growing over time. They are painfully aware of its presence, and it weighs on them more than they would ever admit out loud. This wall has kept them from fully stepping into the connection, but in their heart, they are hoping to find the courage, strength, and confidence to tear it down. They long to step forward into the light, to meet you with open arms, free from fear and hesitation. Right now, they are caught in the tension between what they want and what they feel ready for, but that longing to move closer to you is undeniable. Part of what keeps them frozen is the way they perceive you. You move through life with such independence, resilience, and quiet determination that it intimidates them. To them, you resemble a lone wolf, someone who carves their own path and doesn't rely on the approval or validation of others. You face hardships, endure setbacks, and still manage to stand tall, polished, and put together. This strength of yours commands their admiration, but it also makes them question whether they can measure up. They see you living in alignment with your truth, and it makes them reflect on all the ways they have held themselves back. Despite these insecurities, they cannot help but be drawn to you. Day after day, they find themselves drifting into thought, caught in vivid daydreams of what life would be like if you were truly by their side. In their mind, they envision shared laughter, intimate conversations, and the quiet comfort of knowing they have finally found someone who understands them on a soul-deep level. These thoughts are no longer fleeting fantasies. They have become an anchor, pulling them closer to a reality they now believe might be possible. Your presence in their life has sparked a transformation. They are ready, perhaps for the first time, to take real steps forward, not just for you, but for themselves. Those around them can sense the shift. Friends, family, and colleagues notice that something has changed in the way they carry themselves, and many of them suspect that the inspiration behind these changes is you. You have become the catalyst for their awakening, a mirror that reflects the love and potential they had forgotten they deserved. Slowly but surely, your person is beginning to move toward you with more certainty. They are awakening to the profound truth that they are worthy of love, real love, the kind of love they see in your eyes and feel in your presence. They are healing, in ways you may not even realize. While on the surface they might still appear hesitant or guarded, beneath it all their heart is mending. They are learning to let go of old wounds and outdated fears, choosing instead to step into the possibility of something greater with you. One of the things they miss the most is your tender, nurturing touch. There is something in the way you care, in the softness of your presence, that soothes them in a way they have rarely experienced. In your absence, they find themselves craving that comfort, that grounding energy you bring. It is not just about physical closeness, it is the way your love feeds their spirit, inspiring them to grow, to create, and to trust themselves more fully. They find that their confidence blooms when they think of you, that ideas come more freely, and that life feels brighter because of the influence you've had on their heart. They see you as their greatest inspiration, their anchor, and their strength. And though they may not always have the words to express it, their love for you runs deep, deeper than they have ever admitted. At the same time, they know this connection is not without its challenges. There are obstacles that stand in the way, doubts, fears, and perhaps external circumstances that complicate the path forward. Yet, even with those barriers, they are beginning to understand that pretending you do not exist is no longer an option. For too long, they have worn a mask, hiding their feelings behind excuses or distractions, trying to convince themselves that they could move on without confronting the truth. But the weight of that mask has become unbearable. They are tired of pretending, tired of silencing their heart, and tired of acting as though the love they feel for you can be ignored. More than anything, they want to bring this out into the open. They want to express themselves, to tell you what they have kept hidden, to share the depth of their emotions, and to let you know how profoundly you have changed their life. They know it will take bravery to speak their truth, but that courage is slowly being built within them. Every day, they take one step closer to breaking down the wall that has separated you. In their heart, they are beginning to believe that love is worth the risk, that vulnerability is worth the reward, and that you are worth everything. You are not just a fleeting dream or a passing desire, you are the person who awakened something in them that had long been asleep. And now, they are ready to face their fears, remove the mask, and walk toward you with open hands and an open heart. I just want to talk to you with complete honesty, without holding anything back. For so long, I have carried the image of the man I want to become, a man who stands on the foundation of integrity, who is transparent in his words and actions, who is emotionally strong yet not afraid to show his heart, and who makes decisions with clarity rather than fear. Part of becoming that man also means having the courage to be vulnerable, to open myself up completely rather than hiding behind walls. But I see now that I have fallen short in so many ways. The truth is that I have let my fears guide me for far too long. Fear has dictated my choices, my silence, and even the way I showed up in our relationship. I thought I had to handle everything on my own, to carry the weight of my struggles without leaning on anyone. That belief became so ingrained in me that when you came into my life, I didn't know how to adjust. I was rigid in my ways, stuck in the mindset of independence to the point where I shut you out. And I know that isn't what you needed. What you needed was someone who could be vulnerable, someone who would include you in his inner world, someone who could trust you enough to share both his strength and his fears. Looking back, I realize I never truly gave you that chance. I never gave myself fully to you, and that is one of my deepest regrets. From the bottom of my heart, I need you to know that I carry this regret every day. Instead of appreciating the love you offered me so unconditionally, I questioned it. Instead of being thankful for the safe space you tried to create for us, I allowed my insecurities to build barriers between us. Rather than embracing our connection, I let fear and pride run the show. I blamed you when I should have looked inward. And now, with the clarity I have, I see how wrong I was. I understand now that my inability to be vulnerable didn't just affect me, it hurt you. It created a distance, a wall that kept you from feeling the safety and openness that you deserved. I thought that by being strong and silent, I was protecting both of us, but in reality, I was pushing you away. I see that clearly now. Vulnerability is not weakness, it is the very thing that allows love to grow. By refusing to share my fears, my hopes, and my struggles, I robbed us of the chance to deepen what we had. But I want you to know something important. I am changing. I am not only realizing my mistakes but actively working to create the foundation I should have built from the beginning. I want to build a safe space for us, one where you feel completely seen, heard, and cherished. I want to be the kind of person you can lean on without hesitation, the kind of man who makes you feel both comfortable and secure. I want to step into the version of myself that you believed in all along, the one who is capable of giving his whole heart without reservation. Forgive me for the times I shut down when I should have opened up. Forgive me for the silence that left you wondering where you stood. Forgive me for allowing my fears to overshadow my love for you. If I could go back, I would tell you everything sooner, my fears, my feelings, my struggles, and most of all, how deeply I love and appreciate you. I had no idea how complicated things would become because of my silence, but I know now that silence creates distance, and distance weakens the very bond one wanted to strengthen. More than anything, I want you to know that my heart is fully awake now. I see with painful clarity how much I've hurt you by not being the man you needed me to be. But I also see the possibility of who I can become, not just for myself, but for you and for us. I want to show you through my actions that I am ready to be open, that I am ready to let you into every part of me, that I am ready to face my fears with you by my side instead of fighting them alone. Love is not about perfection, it's about trust, honesty, and the willingness to be raw and real. That's what I want to give you. I want to build something unshakable with you, something rooted in mutual understanding and vulnerability. I know that words alone are not enough, but I promise you this, I will no longer let fear dictate my life. I will no longer let pride hold me back from being the man I need to be for you. I don't expect forgiveness to come easily, and I don't take it for granted. But I hope with everything in me that you can see my sincerity. I hope you can feel the truth in my words, that you can see the growth happening within me. And I hope, more than anything, that we can find our way back to each other on stronger, more honest ground. Please forgive me. Please allow me the chance to show you the love I failed to express before. You are worth more than my silence, more than my fears, and more than the walls I built around myself. From this moment forward, I want to live in a way that honors you, cherishes you, and never lets you question how much you mean to me. Your partner was once someone who carried an unshakable stubbornness, always keeping their walls high and refusing to let anyone, especially you, get too close. Back then, no matter how much patience or kindness you showed, they resisted opening up their heart, choosing instead to hide behind pride, fear, and their own inner struggles. It seemed as though they were determined to maintain control and distance, even at the cost of pushing you away. But time has a strange way of changing perspectives. After this long separation between the two of you, reality has started to weigh on them. They are realizing something that they never truly understood before, that no matter how hard they try to push your memory aside, no matter how desperately they attempt to forget you, you never leave their mind. Each day apart has brought them to a new level of awareness. They find themselves constantly reminded of you in the smallest details of life, in a song that plays unexpectedly, in the quiet moments when they are alone with their thoughts, or even in the simple gestures of kindness they witness from others. With each reminder, the truth becomes clearer: they cannot escape you, because you left an imprint that runs far deeper than they ever acknowledged before. In their heart, they are beginning to see who you truly are, and for the first time, they are recognizing how pure, compassionate, and kind-hearted you have always been. Even after everything they did, the moments they ignored you, manipulated situations, or let their ego dictate their actions, you never retaliated. You never tried to hurt them back, never sought revenge, and never once attempted to damage their reputation or character. Instead, you consistently chose respect, even when they didn't deserve it. You carried yourself with dignity and grace, showing them a strength they were too blind to see in the past. It is this very nature of yours, this patience, this quiet resilience, this unwavering decency, that has now opened their eyes. For the first time, they are able to clearly see the mistakes they made, and the weight of that realization is heavy on their conscience. They feel an overwhelming sense of regret, not only for ignoring you but also for the ways they tried to manipulate or control situations in the past. Their pride once convinced them that they were right, but now that same pride has crumbled into shame. They are deeply ashamed of their behavior and their choices, and this shame sits with them every time they think of how differently things could have been if they had only treated you better. The truth is, they know that you gave them countless chances, countless opportunities to rise above their inconsistency, but instead, they allowed their own turmoil and instability to interfere. Your partner is painfully aware that their constant back and forth, their inability to provide stability or consistency, became the reason you eventually stopped investing your time, love, and energy into them. They see clearly now that your decision wasn't made lightly. It wasn't because you stopped caring, it was because you had no choice but to protect yourself from the exhaustion of being let down again and again. They know they hurt you, perhaps more deeply than they will ever fully understand, and even if it wasn't always intentional, the pain they caused remains undeniable. And yet, instead of holding bitterness in your heart, you walked away with grace. That choice alone has humbled them more than anything else. They are now in a place where they desperately want to make things right. They want to undo the damage, even if they know that the past cannot be erased. Their focus has shifted entirely. They are no longer distracted by other people, other options, or fleeting interests. Those things that once caught their attention no longer hold any value in their eyes. The only thing that matters to them now is you. They are determined to win back your trust, though they know it will not be easy. Trust, once broken, cannot be rebuilt overnight, and they are finally beginning to understand that it requires effort, consistency, and sincerity. For perhaps the first time in their life, they are ready to put in the hard work. They are prepared to be patient, to prove themselves not just through words but through actions that demonstrate their seriousness and their commitment. This isn't about temporary change, it's about transformation. They don't want to simply convince you, they want to become someone truly worthy of the love you once gave so freely. The separation has taught them more than they expected. It has forced them to confront not only the consequences of their behavior but also the value of what they lost. They realize now that love like yours is rare, genuine, selfless, and unshaken even in the face of pain. And though they once took it for granted, they are determined never to make that mistake again. Deep down, they are holding on to hope. Hope that you will allow them the chance to show you how much they've grown. Hope that you can see the sincerity in their regret and the honesty in their efforts. Hope that, despite the broken past, there is still space for a renewed beginning. Above all, they are certain of one thing: their heart belongs to you, and this time, they are ready to prove it in every way possible.